So today we're talking about translations. A translation or a slide is an isometry, and if you remember, isometry means that the pre-image and the image are going to be congruent, that maps all points of a figure to the same distance in the same direction. So keywords here are the same. Everything happens the same. So if we are looking at the point A to A prime, A is our pre-image, and A prime is our image because of the notation of the prime. So we are going from A to A prime. So this would be our vector. So to get the translation, we write it x comma y with an arrow that says maps onto x plus, and then we say A comma y plus b in parentheses, where A is the horizontal movement and B is the vertical movement. And so what we look at then is how do we get from point A to point A prime. So we use that coordinate grid and we say, okay, we had to move 1, 2 up, so that's positive, and we had to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the right, so that's positive. And again, starting at A, ending up at A prime. So in this case, A is equal to 6 and B is equal to 2 because A is your horizontal movement, B is your vertical movement. And so we would write this translation as follows. X comma y is mapped onto x plus 6, y plus 2. That is how we write out the translation from A to A prime. So let's take a look at a couple other examples. So looking here, we have a few different points. So if we wanted to map from B to A, so we want to start at B and go to A. So if we start at B and go to A, we've got 1, 2 to the left, so that's going to be -2, and then 1, 2, 3 down, so that's going to be -3. So from B to A, that rule is going to be x comma y is mapped onto x minus 2, x minus 2, comma, y minus 3. And so that just explains the relationship between all of the x and all of the y. In the next example, we're looking at an actual figure. So it says write a rule to describe the translation from ABCD to EFGH. So what we're looking at there is actually taking us point to point. So A is going to point E because they follow the same line. So A is going to E. Just a sec. So this tells us that we have to start at A and go to E. So we've gone 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left, so -4, but then we went up 1, so that's a +1. So when we are writing the rule to describe the translation, if one set of points goes -4 up 1, then every set of corresponding points is going to follow that same rule. Hence the word rule. If it happens to one set of points, it has to happen to all the sets of points. So your rule would be written as x comma y, arrow is mapped onto x minus 4, comma, y plus 1. So in our last example, we're going to look at, given the original pre-image, translated under a given rule. So the rule that we have given is that xy is going to be mapped onto x plus 2, y minus 3. So then what that tells us here is that the x change, or the horizontal change, is going to be a plus 2. And the vertical change then is going to be a minus 3. So plus 2 means we're going to the right, minus 3 here means we're going down. So what we are looking at is, starting with x, we have to move 2 to the right, and then 1, 2, 3 down. And there is our x prime. Then we start at the y, and we're going to go 1, 2 to the right, and 1, 2, 3 down. There is our y prime. And our z, 1, 2 to the right, 1, 2, 3 down. There is our z prime. Then we connect the dots, and we have our translated figure. So then we were just moving the horizontal and the vertical change that they gave us and applying it to the shape. All right, good luck with your translating.